Hiya folks, welcome to the show. Well, after waiting for over a year, we are finally about to see an increase in Disney Plus's output of original content. But since real people make me uncomfortable, I'm of course most excited for the new projects by Disney Television Animation. More specifically, their revivals of older animated series. Like, seriously, these announcements just keep popping up out of nowhere. No chance, no way, I won't say. Yeah, that seems about right. Now, you're all probably asking, why am I making such a big deal out of old Disney shows returning? Well, in the almost 40 years since Disney Channel began its first broadcast, we haven't seen anything like this before. For a company that capitalises on nostalgia as much as Disney, it's shocking how reluctant they've been to bring back any of their old shows, especially when it came to their cartoons. Ever since the first original animated show by Disney, The Wuzzles, premiered in 1985, not a single one of the programmes produced by Disney Television Animation has received any kind of continuation. They would premiere, run 3 to 5 years, and then be basically forgotten about by the network, with the only true exception being a Goofy movie, which is a spin-off from a Disney afternoon show called Goof Troop. I mean, it does say a lot when the only animated series Disney's ever done a revival of was a continuation of a show they didn't even create. The Ducktales reboot in 2017 was the first time Disney TVA ever returned to one of their older properties, but it was still a different show with a new art style, new characterizations, and an entirely new voice cast. But then on February 27th, 2020, it was officially announced that the Disney Channel animated series The Proud Family was receiving a full revival for Disney Plus, entitled The Proud Family Louder and Prouder, with the entire original voice cast returning. While we had learned about this series months in advance when Tommy Davidson, who plays Oscar Proud, revealed in an interview they were making new episodes, it was incredibly surreal seeing an older Disney animated series getting a revival that brings back the entire cast and will pick up right where the original left off, because as I said, that was previously unheard of. Now that Disney is hopping on the trend of bringing back every single animated series it has available, I figured what better time to talk about the Disney TVA shows I want to see revived in the form of a Disney Plus original. Wander Over Yonder was a series created by Craig McCracken that lasted 2 seasons from 2013 to 2016. It centred on the optimistic and good-natured Wander and his best friend Sylvia, as they travel across the galaxy helping people while unknowingly foiling the schemes of Lord Hater, who wants to take over the universe. The series became beloved for its great writing, unique art style, stunning animation, and endearing characters. While the first season was mostly episodic and could best be described as a crossover between the Looney Tunes and SpongeBob, with the premiere of the second season, the show would begin to change, adopting a more serialized format, introducing a new, more threatening villain who really raised the stakes, and delving deeper into the characters and their backstories. But just as the show was starting to ramp up, the executives went, that's enough. And so, despite its rapidly growing fanbase and plans for a third and final season already underway, the show was cancelled. While from what I can tell, season 2 was able to bring the story to a close in a satisfying way, it did still leave the door open to more. This show got done so dirty by Disney, moving from the main channel to XD halfway through the first season and receiving little advertisement compared to other shows that were airing at the same time. Now, the chances of this show coming back for a third season are slim, at least for now, as Craig has moved over to Netflix where his new show just premiered. But a few years down the line, if the demand is still there, who knows what could happen. Airing from 2002 to 2004, Fillmore was a loving parody of police dramas. Set in ex-middle school, the show focuses on Cornelius Fillmore and Ingrid Third, who are partners in the school safety patrol, as they solve crimes while committing a whole bunch of safety violations in the process. Now, admittedly, I have not seen a lot of this show. In fact, I have yet to watch a full episode. But from what I have seen, this is an incredibly well-written, engaging, and intelligent show with such a unique tone that is unlike any other cartoon of its time. The show only lasted 26 episodes, which is shocking considering most Disney shows around this time lasted 65 episodes for syndication purposes. Since its cancellation, the show has gained a dedicated fanbase, and I think it would be really nice to see it brought back. Although if the show was to come back, they would probably be recasting Fillmore. I'll let you look it up for yourself, but yikes. Star vs. the Forces of Evil is perhaps the best example of why Disney's rule of only allowing their shows a maximum of 4 seasons is stupid and deserves a quick and painful death. Premiering the first episode on Disney Channel in January 2015 before moving to Disney XD for a majority of its run, Star vs. the Forces of Evil told the story of Star Butterfly, a magical princess from another dimension who is sent to Earth where she fights monsters with the help of her best friend Marco Diaz. Or at least that's how it starts, because towards the end of season 1 we start learning more about the history of Star's people as the entire show gets turned on its head, slowly transforming into something that's part epic magical girl adventures and part intense political drama. The series was a huge success, spawning a massive fan base in the process. It ran for 3 seasons on Disney XD before moving to Disney Channel for its 4th and final season, which aired all 21 episodes in the span of 11 weeks. On May 19th, 2019, the series came to an unceremonious end, in a finale that brought up way more questions than it answered and sent out this wonderful series on a bit of a flat note, to put it delicately. Now, rumours have since circulated that the creator of the series was planning for the show to have 5 seasons, which, if true, while I appreciate the optimism, was a really bad basket to place all your magical eggs into. As a simple look at every other animated series Disney has made in the past 2 decades would make you realise that probably wasn't going to work out well for you. However, this was a time before Disney Plus was released, so any revival or continuation seemed out of the question. But Phineas and Ferb, Candace Against the Universe, and the Proud Family Louder and Prouder have really changed things. I honestly think Star vs. the Forces of Evil is one of the most likely revivals we'll see on Disney Plus. So since a continuation seems more like a question of when than if, what would I want to see? Well, obviously if the rumours are to be believed and Nefsy has plans for a 5th season, I think they should just go ahead with that, giving the series one final season that can right the wrongs of season 4 and hopefully redeem the show in a lot of people's eyes. Let's see the fallout of the finale, really explore this new world that was created and have the characters deal with the consequences of what they did. How will Star deal with facing against both new and old threats now that magic is gone? What's her relationship with Marco going to be like from now on? The show was always incredibly conscious about how the actions of the main characters impacted the world around them, so let's see how the world is responding to these changes and how they feel about what Star did. However, if there aren't already existing plans for season 5, I would be more than satisfied with a Star vs. the Forces of Evil movie. Just one last adventure that introduces a new threat who poses the biggest challenge to Star yet, as she has to find a non-magical solution. A huge celebration of everything the show did right that sends it off on the ultimate high. So I know I said in my recent video reflecting on Disney's recess that I have very mixed feelings on the show returning. I felt the last few years of the franchise really harmed the series and its legacy, and that I'm okay just leaving it at 6 wonderful seasons and 1 really great movie. But let's be honest, creative integrity probably doesn't matter to the executives making these decisions. And Recess is certainly a nostalgic property that was very popular for its time. I mean, it seems every few years we hear something about a possible live-action reboot, and every few years I give the same response. Please don't. So if they just have to bring this show back, how would I want to see it done? No live action, no reboot that tries to be the same show but with dabbing and smartphones. Here's how I would do a Recess continuation. Set 25 years after the show, TJ is now the principal of 3rd Street Elementary, with maybe a few other members of the gang being teachers. I think Vince as the phys ed teacher makes sense, and I really like the idea of adult Spinelli now having Miss Finster's job of supervising Recess. But she's also an artist following on from that one episode of the series, and the show is entirely from their perspective. It would be so easy to just focus on a new group of kids and keep all the ties to the old series in the background, but I think that would be a disservice. Recess was a show about the challenges of growing up, so let's see them now that they actually have grown up. Now that's only half the cast accounted for, so where is everyone else? Well, Gus obviously went into the military, Mikey is a stage actor, and Gretchen is working in some of the top science facilities in the country. I mean, at 9 years old, one of her experiments was used by NASA and another was stolen by the government. There is no way she isn't a famous scientist in the future. We get to see them from time to time, as well as the man formerly known as Principal Prickly and Miss Finster, who now reside at the Happy Acres nursing home. But the main focus is the staff at 3rd Street, which may include some of the other grown-up versions of characters from the original series, as well as Miss Grotke, who I think would definitely be at an age where she'd still be teaching. I think this could work either as a new series or just a reunion special, but I'm definitely leaning towards the latter in this case. As I said, said, I'm okay with leaving Recess as it is, but if they really want to do something with it, there are definitely some ideas they could go with that have some real potential.
So what's the sitch? Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me.
There is no denying that a 5th season of this show is long overdue. Running from 2002 to 2007, Kim Possible is one of the most popular and long-running shows to ever air on the Disney Channel, despite only being the second animated series created for the network. It followed the life of teenage hero Kim Possible, who uses her cheerleading skills to battle supervillains with the help of her sidekick Ron Stoppable and his indecent pet Rufus. The show was known for its quick, witty dialogue, creative villains, and well-choreographed action scenes that treat the laws of physics as more of a suggestion than a hard and fast rule. The series originally ended production in 2005 with a TV movie called So the Drama serving as the series finale, despite Disney opting to air it in the middle of season 3, which is something they did a lot back then. However, due to the popularity of the series and the amount of fan letters the network received, on November of that same year the show was renewed for a 4th season, which ran in its entirety during 2007. Ever since the second finale aired in September of 2007, fans have continued attempting to get the show revived once more, which Disney often do notice as the show returned briefly to Disney Channel a few times in 2017, in the form of reruns. Yet 13 years since the final episode, and all we got is a terrible live-action movie that, despite the original creators being involved, felt nothing like Kim Possible. While what most fans want is a direct continuation that follows Kim and Ron in college, I feel for Kim Possible we really need a full time skip. Fortunately, we already know the future of these characters thanks to the DVD bonus features of A Stitch in Time, which I guess is canon. So let's pick up with Kim in her mid to late 20s. Her, Ron and Rufus now work for Global Justice, a worldwide espionage organisation we saw multiple times during the series. Then have the leader, Dr. Betty Director, announce she is retiring and passing on her position to Kim. Then we follow Kim as she comes to terms with all her new responsibilities as the leader of such a huge team, which brings into question if she's even able to do field work herself anymore. But this is Kim Possible. Saving the world was only half of the show, as Kim had to constantly balance punching goons out a window and being a top student who's also captain of the cheer squad. So you really need that more mundane part of her life, but she's not in school anymore. So how about this? We open the season with Kim and Ron getting engaged. From there they have to balance their positions at Global Justice with planning their wedding and all the work that goes into it, such as dress shopping, finding a caterer, making a registry. Then you can have the season finale be the wedding, and if the show is going to continue past that, they can explore their life as a newly married couple. Of course you'd have all the other characters reappearing. Wade, Monique, Kim's family, Draken, Shigo, and all of Kim's previous rogues gallery. Of every revival I've talked about, this is easily the one I want to see the most, and I'm fairly confident that new Kim Possible content on Disney Plus is an inevitability. But those are just a handful of the Disney Plus revivals I really want to see. Considering recent announcements, I don't think we have to worry that every single animated series by Disney won't eventually get some kind of continuation, which scares me. Thanks for watching, folks. See you real soon.